This is the banana I'll be eating during this video. Why am I eating a banana while talking about the parts of Eckhart Tolle's philosophy that I do not agree with? Ew, there's a bad part of it. This is a new banana. It's a little soft. I think I'll eat around that part. Well, here's the thing. I don't think Eckhart Tolle would ever eat a banana during one of his video presentations. I have virtually all of them that are available on Amazon, at least, that I've found, and I love watching him, but I just don't think he'd eat a banana. And that's probably for the best, because you can't speak as clearly while you're eating a banana. But it's fairly soft, so it's a lot easier than other foods. And I think it's kind of funny to talk about Eckhart Tolle while eating a banana. You may disagree. Okay, what I love about him, first of all, is he's very peaceful. And the various concerns that I have, I probably would not have if I woke up and was as enlightened as him. And a part of me wants to be as enlightened as him. But a part of me feels that even if that happens in the future, it's not well timed. That level of enlightenment is not well timed for me, because I'm still learning about the world of form. I'm not ready to skip ahead. And when I'm suffering, okay, here's what I'm going to do with the bad part. I'm going to use this as a little bad part plate. I'm going to remove with my mouth, very carefully, the bad part. And put it on there, set it aside. I want to be as peaceful as him when I'm suffering. But for the most part, it's like, I'm okay with the fact that I still like watching TV. He's very critical of TV. And I think that it's fun to laugh, first of all. It's fun to learn about the world still, and ego. And it's not fun for him. You wouldn't like it. But I enjoy it. In this book, The Power of Now, I thought it was really weird. Somebody asked this question. I'm assuming the questions are from other people. About, can we just stay healthy in our body and never die? A physical immortality question, and that's something I've been interested in since having a really intense spiritual opening and realization about that possibility back in 98. God, yeah, I think it was 98, 12 years ago. So I've written about that in my book Unification. I have studied other people's ideas, and I like it because it's out there and it pushes the envelope about how we conceptualize who we are and our bodies and aging and health. And I like the Celestine prophecies idea of merging the spiritual and material realms so that we can transcend this whole concept of death and materialize in whatever form needs to be. But Eckhart Tolle said no. He doesn't care if he dies. But I'm still in a place where it makes sense to care if you die or not. Not because your spirit ends, but it's okay to honor the desire to live. And I've experienced the loss of people in my life, like my dad 7 years ago, and it was horrible. And if I can help to minimize the amount of suffering, not only, when a person dies, they're back in spirit form, and I think they reincarnate and they're fine. But the people that are left to deal with that grief, if I can minimize death, then I'd like to. Now, Eckhart Tolle knows that synchronicity exists, but he doesn't know why. And when I find myself doubting things that I have felt drawn to, things that I think are spiritual human possibilities. I think about synchronicity and how it is so crazy. I experience it very frequently, especially at different intense points in my life, transitions or periods of suffering, confusion. It doesn't make any damn sense at all as to why a song out of a randomized group of several thousand or whatever would be customized to fit a moment that reflects a thought or a moment that is happening. It's crazy. But that's okay. We're not necessarily... I really wanted to understand it for a while. But we're not necessarily here to understand everything. But I think if weird things can be synchronized that totally play with our concepts of time, and there's all this wise guidance coming to us when we're open to it, then why not stay alive and healthy in this body? Is that any more crazy than synchronicity? Synchronicity is one of the craziest things. So, Eckhart Tolle was suffering. He's a normal dude going along suffering. And then he stopped suffering. And that gave him some insight, clarity, and peace. But it didn't teach him everything. And I find within myself, and I think a lot of us have this, the desire to find one teacher who has all the answers. But I think that what we really got to do is pick and choose and see what resonates and see what doesn't, and customize and become our own guide. And all of our lives may be very different, So we all have different issues, different karma, different experiences, so there may not be such a thing as a universal teaching that works for everyone. There's a lot of cultural variance on this planet. And a lot of variance in how we are raised as well. So, for myself, I find that when Eckhart Tolle says something like, "There are no happy endings," I just feel like, I don't know. There certainly won't be if I don't believe that there are. But what if instead of just decaying and my body wearing out, so I have to disidentify with form and, die? That's an example of how there are no happy endings because everyone dies. What if it turns out that human beings, when they're living in truth and they're living authentically, start to change their relationship with form, and that as opposed to a traditional death, there is a dematerialization and perhaps the ability to rematerialize as well? What if we can move across various dimensions? I saw this interesting show the other day talking about gravity is relatively weak compared to other forces because the theory was there are 11 different dimensions and gravity is busting through these other dimensions and is weakened by the time it gets here. And I thought, that's pretty trippy. The way they demonstrate gravity being weak is take a paper clip, it'll fall to the ground, that's gravity, but a little tiny magnet will hold it up, and a little tiny magnet overcomes this entire planet's gravitational pull. There's trippy things going on here, and we're still learning. Everybody, we look at 1900 and what people believed in and thought about the world, and they thought they were at the pinnacle. In 1899, I believe it was, a director of the patent office said that everything that was to be invented had been invented. And I think that shows the ignorance that we have about feeling as though we have it figured out. So keep an open mind and know that just because somebody has attained peacefulness within doesn't mean they have it all figured out. And that if we stay open, there may be all kinds of miraculous things yet to learn about what's really possible in the world.